I have an update for everybody on the story that we did yesterday about YouTube and them cracking down on controversial creators. So they released some new guidelines that showed which videos are and aren't advertiser friendly. And we broke it down and basically showed you that there's an argument that every single Secular Talk video does not meet the guidelines, because they basically say, if you cover any controversial topic, we can give you zero advertising. If you cover any political conflicts, if you cover war, if you curse, like these are all things that they say, yeah, well, we reserve the right to just say you're done. And you get zero funding, and that could be the end of what you do. So we broke that down. We broke that down in detail yesterday. Now, again, for those of you who don't know, the system that YouTube has, generally speaking, is actually brilliant in the sense that there's a giant buffer. So YouTube and Google are the ones who do all the advertising stuff, and they deal with the companies and the corporations. And this way, creators like myself literally never have to speak to any advertisers, any corporations ever, and I'm not pulled in a million different directions, and I don't feel obligated to anybody. So that's why, for example, sometimes, as I brought up yesterday, you'll see like an advertisement for Scientology or something, or Mormonism before a segment that I do on religion or atheism. Or you'll see, you know, a campaign for a campaign ad for a candidate I don't agree with before a segment about politics. It's not that I'm carrying water for said person. It's that, again, the giant buffer makes it possible. So overall, a good system, but then with these new guidelines, I was concerned about it. Philip DeFranco, another YouTuber, was concerned about it. There were just countless YouTube creators who were like, oh, well, this is terrible, and I might be done now. And I think hashtag YouTube party is over was the #1 trending topic yesterday. So YouTube was like, oh, shit, oh, what have we done? What have we done? Now, YouTube has a record of like, they'll just do shit, and then you'll see what they did, but they don't announce anything. They don't give you reasoning. They don't give you an argument. They don't give you anything. They're just like, oh, yeah, here's what we did. Everyone shut the fuck up. So they did that, and they're like, oh, I've been... la-di-da, this will be good. Nobody will care. And then all of us realize, all the creators, we look on our channels, we're like, oh no, what's happening? And we see all of our videos being demonetized. So I told you guys, I went through maybe 30 pages, with each page having 15 or 20 videos in my archive, and like 20% of them were demonetized. I'm like, oh no, this is YouTube apocalypse. What's fucking happening? So now YouTube has released a statement over this, and what did they say? Well, their response is, no, you idiots, this was the case all along. So those videos already were not monetized, and now we just set up a system where we tell you which videos aren't monetized, and you can appeal it. So you can click something, and then it goes and gets reviewed, and then they let you know whether or not, you know, you actually can get monetization on that video. Now, is that true? Honestly, I don't know, because I can tell you, this is just me speaking here. I don't know of anybody else's channel or situation, but I can tell you that coinciding with all the demonetization that showed up on my channel, I did get a hit in revenue. So it's certainly possible that that's simply the ebb and flow of the way revenue works on YouTube anyway. Like that's liable to happen no matter what, and it has happened sometimes, in the middle of a month or at the beginning of a month or whenever, you know, you look one day, it's however much money more, and then the next day, okay, now it's less. So that certainly is possible, but I'm just saying the timing coincided, where it's like, okay, now you have the demonetization stuff. Okay, now there's a hit in revenue. So that's what they're arguing. Is it true? Maybe it's true, okay? But either way, is there still an issue that YouTube has here that they have to deal with? Yes. Now, why do I say that? As somebody who focuses specifically on news and politics, and yes, controversial topics, I can tell you for sure this is deeply flawed. Now, there were videos I did where, for example, one of them was about a town that was liberated from ISIS, and there's a short video of people celebrating being liberated from ISIS, and my commentary there as well. Can you guess what the commentary was? The commentary was, this is fantastic. It's great that these people are liberated. Isn't it wonderful that ISIS is, falling back, and they were beat back in this sense. And, okay, here are the strategies that worked. Here's what we shouldn't do. Here's what we should do. So obviously it was glowing commentary about a happy situation about, a town being liberated from ISIS. Well, under these guidelines, just the fact that I am discussing ISIS by definition means no monetization. Now, that's just one example. ISIS, okay? So anything you say ever about ISIS, God forbid you do a segment about ISIS ever, no matter what you're saying, you'd be the most anti-ISIS person ever. Obviously, we are. They're like, nope, you said ISIS. That's it, so it's done. Now, think about the lack of logic there, because what you're saying is, if you discuss it in any way, you're done. So, theoretically, a video that I do about ISIS, not theoretically, pragmatically, realistically, a segment I do about ISIS is more anti-ISIS than a segment that doesn't even talk about ISIS. So, taking a stance against it is penalized. By the same token, if you discuss rape, like, guys, again, I'm a news and political commentary show. If I discuss rape, hey, here are the facts about this rape that happened. Isn't it horrific? Isn't this terrible? The authorities should act. Nope. No monetization. You discussed rape. You had rape in the title or rape in the tags. So, you're done. There was another segment we did about a guy in Pakistan who married a 6-year-old and then said, no, it's cool because it's my religion, so everybody piss off. Well, we did a segment on that, and what did I say? I don't care if it's your religion. You can't marry a 6-year-old, asshole. And it's a segment that is providing potent arguments against child marriage. No monetization. Again, why? Because you're discussing a controversial topic. And even in the context of doing that, if you're providing potent, concise, intelligent arguments against a horrible thing that usually people don't talk about, but now I'm giving you a litany of reasons why this is indeed immoral, just the fact that you're talking about it, you're in trouble. So another thing I've noticed, if you mention ISIS, if you mention rape, if you mention drugs, if you mention war, if war is in the title, drugs are in the title, forget it, man. Forget it. So think about that. So that is biased, like, specifically against shows like mine. Now, I get it. You have advertisers who are saying, well, I don't want my name associated with a segment on drugs or rape or ISIS or this or that. But there's a default assumption there that is just factually incorrect. And that default assumption is, if anybody is covering said topics, it is, by definition, something that I don't want to be associated with. When in reality, again, when I'm talking about ISIS, it's to be anti-ISIS. So if you say, I don't want to put my name on something that is anti-ISIS, what's the actual implication of that? What are you, pro-ISIS? What are you, pro-child marriage? You don't want to sign up to be alongside a video that argues against child marriage? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Well, just the fact that you're discussing it. Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on. What's going on? Or do we live in, is this all fucking Leave It to Beaver? Is that what's going on here? Everything on YouTube is supposed to be Leave It to Beaver? And then, you think back and you realize, I got stories on ISIS coming later in this show. I got things on foreign policy and the Israeli occupation coming later on in this show. Now I know when I do those, I'm doing those, and YouTube's like, those, demonetized, nothing happening. And so it does set up a situation where it's not going to affect me because I'm going to cover these things no matter what. But now you think other up-and-coming YouTubers, they're going to walk on eggshells when it comes to controversial topics because they want to get fucking paid. So you've set up a system where it is de facto censoring controversial issues, and these controversial issues are the ones that we should be talking about the most. So it is a problem. It is still ridiculous. I obviously hope it is true that they've been doing it all along, because then for revenue reasons, that's better. But that does also mean your argument kind of has been, no, it's cool. We've been censoring you from the beginning. You got to change your algorithm. You got to change the way you approach these things because it's not logical. And, you've almost singled out news and politics, just by their very nature. So even when they cover topics that are controversial and they cover it in a way where the overwhelming majority of people go, yes, that is a moral way to cover it. Those are good arguments. You go, I don't care. I don't want you discussing that no matter what. So there's going to be a punishment attached to that. Hopefully YouTube works on that and they fix that. But it doesn't appear like they're going to do it. It looks like they think this is the final word of calm down, we've been doing it all along. We now just let you know that we've been doing it all along. And for the record, so I knew that obviously some videos get less monetization and fewer ads than other videos. And I could have guessed that, okay, well, if it's a more controversial topic, you probably do get less ads and you probably do make less revenue off those videos. But now I know, because of what they're giving us now, what YouTube is showing us now, it's not even the case that it's less. It's the case that it's none. If you discuss ISIS, war, rape, any of these controversial topics, it's just done. So there's got to be a way to level with, reason with the advertisers, or a way to change the algorithm to let everybody know just because you're discussing ISIS does not mean you are by definition pro-ISIS. So stop with this being taboo, treating taboo subjects like it's just totally off the table and that's the end of the conversation. That's not the end of the conversation. We should encourage these uncensored, unfiltered, intelligent conversations around these issues.